How my cousin was living a double life part 9. So, I'm finding out that my cousin Kay is locked up. Hold up. What did I miss? What did I miss? So, I start digging. I start putting names in the Google, and long and behold, the whole article popped up. It was all on the news. It was all on the news, all in the paper. So I'm like, what the heck? So I'm reading it and I'm freaking disgusted. Freaking disgusted. So I just want to say this. Me telling this is not to expose any of my little cousins because they're doing great and they're doing awesome. Um, Not for me to expose any other parts of my family. This is basically to expose my weird pedo ass cousin. And that's how I feel about that. I have no respect for her and how she did everybody behind scenes, even down to my uncle, her father. I have no respect for her. So if anybody feels any type of way, I apologize. But I do believe that this story needs to be heard because I need people to pay attention to their children. Pay attention to what's going on. Never dismiss your children, especially for no man. And we ain't like you come around our family and you see we don't play that. So for her to do that, we like, oh, we know you was the oddball all the way because that just don't make no sense at the end of the day. I want everybody to send prayers out to the little girl that I'm about to explain in the situation. So the article basically was saying that my cousin Kay, her dude, and his brothers attacked the 15-year-old. They kept her hostage and tortured her for days. When I say disgusting, I couldn't believe it. I cried about this because it was just like, are you serious? And it's like, I warned everybody. There was something wrong with him. There was something wrong with her. She got to be getting high. I said it. I told everybody. Did nobody listen? And then look at the tragedy that happened. Look at the tragedy that happened. Now, this little girl has to deal with about to go to trial because trial's coming up on the 28th, about having to talk about the trauma that she went through. And I just pray that God gives her the strength to go ahead and tell every damn detail because these sick people, including my cousin Kay, had the nerve to still have the video of everything that they did to this girl. Sick. So this is something that was real, like, what? In the family, family have all types of stuff, but I'm not one that be with secrets and so forth. At the end of the day, especially when it come down to my little cousins and my little babies, oh no, I don't play that. I don't play that. You will get exposed for your simpleness, your nastiness, and your triflingness. Like you was just out here doing whatever. You dismissed your own children. You was lying and manipulating to everybody, even your children, so you could be around this man. You wanted this man around, and now you in jail because of this man. And you've been in jail for about 10, 11 months. 11 months now. And now you're about to have your trial, and it happens to be on my mother's birthday. And I hope my Uncle Ronald, who is your father, I hope he puts you in a position where you need to sit and think about everybody that you have harmed, that you have created some type of trauma with because you're just sick. and so are they. They're going to always be sick. And it's crazy how dude's sister wants to move out of town like that was just going to help her escape from the fact of what she probably had a part of. And I just pray for this little girl who has to heal and become strong because of what she went through for days. That's crazy to me. That's just crazy to me. But I told everybody something's not right. Something's not right. So, like I say, please listen to your intuition. Please listen to the children. Paul Mooney been said, I don't care if it was a joke. Listen to the children. And that's so true. Like I said, this video is not to expose anything that's not public. This is not to expose my little cousins because they're doing awesome at the end of the day. They're doing awesome. You know that they're surrounded by love. They're getting the discipline and, you know, the necessary things that they need to survive. Everything is working in their favor because God will cover. But you, cousin, you are no longer an A. You are definitely a C. And as far as now, see, what's crazy is her dude and the brothers and that did all that, they've been in jail already for that. So this is a repeat offense for them. So they're going to be doing some time. Now, as far as my cousin, I don't know how much time they're going to give her, but she did participate. So I hope it's fair. But I hope she knows she burnt a bridge with me forever. She could sit right next to me in the room and I will not acknowledge her or act like I see her. Now, will I ever, you know, if I had to make the decision of her seeing her daughter, I wouldn't keep her away from her oldest daughter. But I definitely keep her away from the little ones until they're old enough to be able to protect themselves in case of anything, because that's how I would feel about that one. As far as her oldest daughter, my bigger cousin, you know, I would never deny her from being around her mom, you know, because I know it's been hard. I know it's been hard for her. Um, just to deal with that separation altogether. But other than that, she's doing awesome. You know, and she got her aunt there and she could sit and always talk with her aunt. So that's always the great thing. You know what I mean? But I just ask everybody just to pray over my little cousins, that they will be successful and that none of this trauma will continue to affect them, that it will stop and they will rise. So that is the ending. I have nothing else to say, but I just wanted to talk about the fact of my cousin was living a double life and was acting like she was okay, but she was doing it for a while before we realized it. You know what I mean? And like when she started spiraling, that's when everything started getting exposed because we didn't know what was going on. So, you know, it's crazy how God maneuvers things. You know, for her to be closer to my mom, so then I'm around the corner. You know what I mean? Everything was aligned some type of way. And I hope that damn CYF worker, I hope you ain't getting no sleep because I told you. I told you. I told you. I hope you get no rest for what you did. So pray for us. Pray for my little cousins. Pray for my cousin in jail if you want to. But like I said before, you're going to jail and you're going to stay there. And I want you to stay there because you was wrong. I'm out.